All right, this is a big video. Now, these videos are going to be sprinkled throughout the course. They're developer fundamentals video. These are the topics that are going to be super short, but important because as a beginner, it's hard to learn these things because you don't know what you don't know. So what I'm going to try and do in these developer fundamentals is tell you, well, how to avoid the mistakes that I made when I got started. And what a lot of people do when they get started. That is, they don't have a clear path and don't understand what the most efficient way to do things is. So with developer fundamentals, we're going to talk about key things to make you, first of all, efficient in learning Python, but also make you a programmer that is really good and that companies want. So what is this first developer fundamental? It's don't read the dictionary. What does that mean? Well, when you're learning a language, such as Python, you're going to have a tendency, especially when you're starting out, to try and learn every single thing, every single function, every single syntax, every single trick. It's almost like you're trying to learn a language by reading a dictionary from page 1 all the way to page, 1,200. But that's not how things work. As a matter of fact, when I work with different programming languages, I don't know all the syntaxes. I don't know all the methods and functions. And what a lot of developers do is not necessarily memorize everything, just like you would every single word in a dictionary. Instead, you understand what exists and what you can use, but you can always Google things. And most of the time, developers are Googling things, no matter how experienced they are. For example, if we go to the Python documentation here, we can go through everything, right? I can go through the language reference and read through everything. And this is really useful information. But you're not going to memorize every single thing about the language because there's a lot. This is the Python language, and then there's also the libraries, the standard libraries that we can use. And if you sit through here and just read everything in here, well, you're not going to memorize anything. In order for you to actually learn Python, you have to use the language. And you'll notice that some things are used a lot more than others, just like in human languages. Like when you learn English, there's really difficult words that don't get used that often. And there's words like and, the, or apple that get used very often. So we're going to learn the language in a way that makes sense, in a way that's efficient, where we focus on the 20% that gets used 80% of the time. And all these smaller, more complicating things we're going to cover, but we're not going to cover one by one from start to finish. We're going to jump around. The idea being that when you learn a programming language, you're just using these concepts and slowly you're learning what's out there so that when you have a problem, you can identify it and remember, oh, I think Python has a pathlib library that I can use. Or perhaps remember that, oh, I can use tuples in Python. So your first developer fundamental is this. Don't learn a language as if you're trying to get 100% on a test. We're going to learn a language by actually using it, focusing on the things that actually matter. All right, that's enough talking for me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.